Quesada Gardens got started back in 2002 by a couple of senior citizens who lived on the block. Their only problem was that they was tired of looking at the mess that they had in front of their house. When I came here in 1979, that island that's in between Quesada was a mess. It was dumped areas. You got parked cars, you got prostitution, you got drug dealers, you got everything you can imagine on the block, and it was a horrible sight. And so I can understand why those two seniors would want to try to do something a little bit better.
You wouldn't feel safe here. 3, 4, 5 years ago, there would have been a line of cars waiting to do drug trades, and some folks who just wouldn't make you feel very safe. That really did change in about 2002. So actually we're going on 7 years now of sustaining the kind of social change that a lot of folks can't create anywhere. Particularly government programs will try to create this sort of social change without much success. Sometimes some success, but unable to sustain it over time. So we're really, as proud as we are of the gardens and the public art and the things that you see, we're even prouder of the social cohesion, the social capital that we've raised, just the fact that people know one another by name and work together in all sorts of ways as neighbors should. That, for me, is what the real accomplishment is, and that has sustained this social change over time in a way that other programs, other sorts of efforts can't, because they come from the outside and people aren't invested in the change. We are absolutely invested in keeping this as nice as it is now because we live here.
It's fun, and it tastes good in the end.
Yeah.
But you have to get there first.
This used to just be unusable land, and people were just like, they didn't think of this as like a really safe place. So, but what the garden does is it's opening up the communities, and it's bringing people out of their houses, and then they're talking to each other, and then they're building up some sort of like solidarity with one another, and like that, which is so beautiful to me, because then like it's like
way to wash tomatoes.
People know who's in their community now, and so when they see people who are not from the community, there's a safety net, and there's children going back outside now and climbing trees and like and running around and playing and being happy. You know what I mean? Like that stuff's happening, and they're doing it within the garden, and they can remember like, oh my God, like I grew up in the garden getting my hands dirty, and I think that that's probably like the biggest thing that we can see.
On the 1700 block of Quesada, where the Quesada Garden is, which was the first of a cluster of projects that exists now, I would say 100% of the people are involved. 100% of the residents who live on this block are involved. And I say that because people walk out their doors and they are affected by the environmental changes that have been created, and also because nobody complains. You know, if somebody wasn't happy with what their neighbors were doing, they'd say something. People would squawk. Nobody does. And in fact, and you've talked to a lot of the neighbors now, and the reviews are glowing. And why wouldn't it be, since we've created this kind of change and positive change by almost anybody's standards and have sustained it?